Hi, this is James again. Wanted to throw together a quick tutorial on how to use the Breakout Toolbox with a template. I find this extremely useful when I'm trading on multiple pairs and each pair has its own trade setups. I don't want to be looking for manually getting rid of trend lines and stuff like that. I usually have a trade setup that I like to start with as a default screen. That way, with just a couple of mouse clicks, it gets me back to the same default each and every time that I want to apply a new setup for a trade. So I was going to take you through that just real quick and show you an example. So what I do is I go over here and I load the toolbox, the Breakout Toolbox. To start off with, I want to make sure that the configuration that I like to start with is established. So I like the notifications, the alerts, those types of things. So I'll set those to true. Again, that's just personal preference. However, for all the trend lines that are used as tools within this indicator, I make sure that those are set to false. I don't want to start with any trend lines on my pages at all because each trade is brand new and different. I want to be able to tackle that as it comes to me. So set all the trend lines, the entry lines to false. I scroll down, take profits, stop losses, all those are set to false, as well as the break-evens. All of that's turned off. So I go ahead and apply that. I come up here to the templates and I do a save template. I then call this one Toolbox Default. So at this point, you can do this, and you can also, go ahead and replace. So you can do this with any of the indicators that you have. If you, after a trade setup, if you wanted to come back to the same point for your next setup, real nice and easy for you, then this is a great way to do it. So I'm going to take us through an example of how to use this. And again, this is not going to be a trade, an actual trade. This is just a setup to show you a configuration with template. So I'd go in here. I say I want to do a box trade real quick. I'm going to turn this to true. It's going to give me an upper or lower trend line. I move this to within parameters that I want to see. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause until this triggers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the trade setup completed. We had a setup here where the lower box was reached, and then it closed back inside the box. At which point, I'm going to reevaluate to see if I like that trade setup, and I still want to stay for it to close outside the box. But if I do not like the conditions at that point, then what I would probably do is go ahead and wait for my next setup. So in order to take us back to a clean page, I'm going to go ahead and load the default template that we used. I'm going to load the Toolbox default is what I called it, at which point it cleans the screen. I no longer have my trend lines anywhere, and at that point, am within just 2 mouse clicks, I'm ready to go ahead and set up my next trade idea. Again, this is not an actual trade, just an example. So at this point, I want to be notified if the price action goes above this next entry line. And so I move it to where I think price is going to be active, and I want to be notified right there. At that point, it's going to notify me all over again with a new trade. If at any time I don't like price action or with what I have backtested, again, I can just reset it back to a normal default screen, and I'm ready to go ahead and set up an additional trade. I have found this to be a real time saver, and I hope you find it useful. Take care.